Welcome back to another episode of Toon Talk TV, the top animated podcast on YouTube. I'm getting pretty good at saying that.
Pretty good.
If you're new to the channel, be sure and like, follow, and subscribe. And it's the holiday season, so you can head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/wearethetelevision and pick up a sweet new mug. People like mugs for Christmas. They like t-shirts. They like behind-the-scenes content. Perfect gift for the holiday season. This episode is brought to you by no sponsor in general, because we don't have any sponsors. But if you'd like to sponsor this podcast, let us know. That'd be great for the holiday season. Anyhow, we do have a special Christmas episode coming to you. So, with that, gentlemen, Fred, Bob, I have to ask, how are you guys around holiday specials? Is that something you actively seek out for shows, or could you care less if your favorite toon puts out a holiday special?
I feel like I turn them on during the holiday season, but I don't necessarily like them. You know, like
They're
I feel
bad.
like, yeah, it's
They're
like
bad. They suck.
they just redo old things, like retake old stories, change the characters. I guess I don't know. I like the ones that completely
They
redo
gender
it.
swap them.
Yeah.
They gender swap them.
I think this is going to go into play with our list, though, because I feel like we've picked some classic cartoons. Like in the past, I don't know, few decades, no one has really beat out some of those classics. So,
Or
I
if they
agree.
are
I
making
agree.
their own version of it in a series, it's based off of some of these tunes that we're showing. I feel like they just
It's
copycats.
Yeah.
the Solar Opposites holiday special was good, but much like you said, Fred, they're just making fun of old things that already happened.
Yep.
But fuck it. Let's get into our holiday list of our top 5 holiday cartoons to watch during the holiday season. I'm going to see how many times I can say holiday in this episode. Doing good already. At number 5, A Charlie Brown Christmas.
A Charlie Brown Christmas is based off of The Peanuts, a comic strip by Charles Schulz. This follows a depressed, mopey little kid, Charlie Brown, trying to find the holiday spirit. The soundtrack is full of jazz with no laugh track, and all of the voice acting was done by actual kids. The climax of the film is when Charlie's thumb-sucking, blanket-holding best friend, Linus, tells everyone what Christmas is all about by reciting the Annunciation to the Shepherds, which is from the Bible, so it's a little bit Jesus-y. So some interesting stuff about this cartoon. Coca-Cola was looking to sponsor a holiday special, but they needed an outline in less than 6 days. Schulz made the outline for this entire special in less than a day. The pitch consisted of winter scenes, a school play, scene read from a Bible, and a soundtrack combining jazz and traditional music. So the outline never changed. The kid actor Kathy Steinberg, who played Sally Brown, Charlie's little sister, couldn't read. So they basically just fed her the lines for this entire episode. And then do you guys want to guess the budget for this entire special?
Coca-Cola, you said backed it?
Yes. Well, it aired on CBS and Coca-Cola was the sponsor.
The budget was $3,700.
Bob, you want to guess?
100,000.
96,000.
No, really?
96,000.
And that's not adjusted for inflation. At the time, that's
what they
when was
paid.
that?
So, yeah. So right now it would be more, but yeah, that's
yeah.
So, yeah. How do you guys feel about a Charlie Brown Christmas?
First, Fred, I gotta say, it's not called Jesus-y.
It's Jesus-y.
It's religious. It has religious tones.
Jesus-y, that's a word.
For all our Jesus freaks out there watching, we're sorry that we said that. It's religious.
Christmas is a religious holiday there. I mean, you can't totally strip it out of all the Jesus. I think that's crazy to expect. But continue, Mick.
I'm going to say that. So it is a, gravitate to the Peanuts that much.
Boo.
Charlie Brown's a little bitch. He can't kick a field goal. A lot of sexual tension with some of the little kid characters. Just too much. But I will say it is one that's nice to put on and watch for the holidays. I'll give it that.
Mick, you're telling me that depressing ass Charlie Brown doesn't still hold up in this day and age. I think it's like a hilarious character that people still identify with. You always have that depressing ass person around, and it's funny. It's funny,
He's funny as a main character. Just like to walk around and just being sad all the time is like not the normal for like a main character. Like no one wants to watch that person.
Some sourpuss. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I think at number 5 though, for what we've built, it's good at 5.
Sure,
I think that's the perfect part for it. Shall we keep this train going?
Sure, let's go.
All right, at number 4, we snuck one in from our more creative, independent market that we're looking at. People that create independent cartoons. So at number 4, we have a special one called A Hellbenders Christmas.
Created by Oni, a.k.a. Chris O'Neill, and Psychic Pebbles, a.k.a. Zach Hadel. It wouldn't be Toon Talk TV if we didn't talk about some independent YouTube cartoon creators, and this special was made by them. This special came out in 2012 and was the second episode of their web series, Hellbenders. This is definitely the most modern cartoon on the list, being the only Christmas special here with high-pitched screams, blood, and Yetis tearing people apart. Some interesting stuff about this one is Chris, who's also known as Oni, is known for his channel Oni Plays. Oni Plays is basically a YouTube channel that sometimes he'll have episodes where he draws and has a friend on and they'll just draw some characters. But most of them are just them playing video games and talking over it. Just some funny commentary. And then Zach is the co-creator of Smiling Friends on Adult Swim. So some stuff that was speculated that I kind of just gathered from people getting angry in like Reddit comments and shit. Hellbenders was bought by Adult Swim and they passed on to this because of Mr. Pickles. Like they went to Mr. Pickles instead of Hellbenders. The creators said at some point that they fucked up and sold their IP, so they no longer own it. There's a 15-minute pilot of Hellbenders that got leaked, and they never finished more episodes. And Silent Night in A Hellbenders Christmas was sung by Jason Paige, who also sung the Pokemon theme song.
Really?
Yeah.
And isn't that also like a Michael Jackson backup singer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool. And it sounded like shit, so it's pretty cool that he did that.
No. They said
the
Zach
good version at the end.
So Zach and Chris actually sang the shitty version, but
that's
then
awesome.
The good version at the end was sung by Jason Paige.
This one was hilarious. They did Jesus dirty at the end there, though.
Dude, that was so good when he's like, now it's time for you to go to heaven. I did think this was great. I think you're right, Fred. It wouldn't be Toon Talk without bringing in something independent like this. It checked all the boxes for me. Hilarious, short, animation was good. Big fan of Zach and Chris's work. Smiling Friends, love it. So I thought this was great at number 4. Perfect choice. Now, moving on to number 3, which I must say that I have a lot of mouse juice that I need to spray onto this one, but
good, because I'm not saying much about this one. So
at number 3, Simpsons roasting on an open fire.
So this was originally titled on screen as The Simpsons Christmas Special. This is the first full episode of The Simpsons to air, and it's a Christmas special. It's also the origin story of how The Simpsons got their dog, Santa's Little Helper. So the first episode of The Simpsons was originally going to be a different episode, but they had some animation issues and like production issues. So the start date got pushed back to December 17th, and then they aired this as their first episode. It's also one of the only episodes that doesn't have that iconic intro of them
sitting on the couch.
Yeah, the couch intro. Yeah, so basically we chose this one because there's something about The Simpsons and the first couple seasons of The Simpsons animation that is just kind of beautiful for me. Something less about the episode and more about us. The first episode of Toon Talk that was never put on YouTube, only
aired.
Only on our Patreon page, was about The Simpsons. So if you want to listen to that episode, go to our Patreon and check it out there.
Bob, what do you got to say about this?
So I felt like this was a great Christmas episode that in all of our choices, this one felt real. You have the dad that can't afford Christmas and picks up that extra job. He ends up putting it on the wrong bet at the end and not looking like the good guy on Christmas. I would say that that's more of the modern Christmas story than any of these other Christmas cartoons. And I feel like Simpsons have always been ahead of their time in putting out the modern stories before anyone else does. So I think that this is a fantastic Christmas special amongst so much cheeseball Christmas specials. So I give them that. What do you think, Mick?
Well, you got to remember that it wasn't so first off, let me take a step back. One, this has Mall Santa. I love any cartoon or any movie or any show that has to deal with the Mall Santa. It has gambling, which I love gambling, and it has tattoos, which are pretty great too. So you got to remember that it initially wasn't Homer's fault that he had to gamble on.
It was Bart's
at the Greyhound track. It was
true.
Bart's.
That's true.
He went and got a tattoo. What is he supposed to be? He's like 10, right? No. He's what, 12?
I don't know. He's too young
for
a tattoo.
He's too young for a tattoo, but he's getting a tattoo. Do you guys remember the tattoo that he was getting?
Mother.
He's getting mother on the arm.
But Marge pulled him out before. It only said moth.
Yeah. So she had to waste all the family's Christmas money at the dermatologist to get it removed, is where all the money went. And then, it stumbles into, he gets the tip for the Greyhound track where we meet Santa's Little Helper. Do you guys remember the payout odds for Santa's Little Helper had he won?
99-1.
Was it?
You're right, Bob. 99-1. Dude, they would have been millionaires. Completely different series if they hit that.
Oh, dude, that's a great idea. What would have happened to The Simpsons if they won that?
Yeah. This one too, you're right. The other question, if you guys know, this is the pilot episode for an iconic cartoon series that starts with the holiday special. What other show, live action or not, would even attempt that, would do that?
Honestly, that's impressive because holiday specials are hard. And to kind of put your money on a holiday special, if whether people are going to like it or not, that's a huge bet right there. I wouldn't put my money on that. So
yeah.
Crazy.
And I think that's it's amazing. It's great, and it still stands the test of time. It's good. It's a good one.
Agreed.
But moving on, at number 2. So my thinking with numbers 1 and number 2. There's a multiversal option where these are interchangeable because they have both stood the test of time. Hard time putting one above the other, but this is the list that we got. At number 2, we have all the Rankin, is that I'm saying that? Am I saying that right?
Rankin.
Fred? Rankin and Base production stop motion shorts that have been around since 1964.
Not even shorts. Those are
holiday specials.
Holiday specials. There you go.
So, yeah, this one is on the list because I feel like it's so high on the list because it includes so many movies. So they have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, made in 1964, The Little Drummer Boy, made in 1968, Frosty the Snowman, 1969, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town, 1970. When I think of Christmas specials, I think of these. It's the first thing that comes to my head. It's stop motion animation. It has a very unique look, and they coined this a certain name. They called it Animagic. It's weird because they classified Animagic as animation done on ones, but a lot of people already do that. But they also did stop motion on ones. So for anyone who doesn't know that, that's basically there's 24 frames in a second, and people generally do a drawing every 2 frames if it's done on twos. So you're going to see 12 drawings. Well, this you're going to see 24 drawings. So there's just a lot more detail in the movement.
Wow.
So another thing about this too is they weren't all stop motion. They did some 2D frame by frame as well, including Frosty the Snowman. Some interesting stuff about this one is that all of the studio's work was outsourced to Japanese animation companies. One of them being Topcraft. And at the time, Topcraft's staff included Hayao Miyazaki, who went on to form Studio Ghibli.
Woo!
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a nugget of information right there.
Yep.
Damn. So I have a juicy tidbit from this. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's I don't want to say it wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's like a 50-minute film. Guess how much money that one cost to make?
$130,000.
Way low.
Yeah, I want to say less because they're outsourcing this.
No. It's
Like
your
my
guess
guess
is
was
way
low.
low.
Like it needs to be
Guess
higher.
what it
Oh
actually
shit!
is.
Seriously?
Yeah.
All right.
Way low.
Fuck, I don't know.
We're paying the workers wrong if it's 130,000.
Yeah.
So check this out.
Yeah.
It cost $500,000 at the time in 1964.
Jeez.
So
Jeez.
that's
Fuck.
adjusted for inflation, that's $4.5 million on that film, on Rudolph the
That's a lot of mouse
Red-Nosed
coin.
Reindeer alone. So interesting enough that I know Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I can't say for all these films, but it was funded by Montgomery Ward with plans to make a lot of advertising money at their stores. So
Fucking
as-
assholes.
as-
This is all done
as
by like
heartfelt-
just
Love it.
giants.
Yeah, it's
man.
heartfelt.
Just,
Yeah. Capitalism, baby. It's all about capitalism. So
it's kind of what Christmas
Give me
is
that
all
mouse
about.
cheese.
Yeah,
Give me that
yeah.
mouse cheese.
Yeah.
Fred, you mentioned the big four. I think the big four of them, but Arthur Rankin Jr. and Jules Bass. They also made some of my other favorites: Year Without a Santa Claus, Rudolph's Shiny New Year, Jack Frost, and their last stop motion from 1979 was Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. So from 64 to 79, they were just pumping these bad boys out.
Yeah. All outsourced though,
Just-
made in sweatshops.
just-
you know?
Just raking in the money. Raking in.
yeah.
Give me that little mouse cheese. They're good. They're still something that I put on in the background and I watch. They, TBS or whatever syndicated cable network shows these things on a loop basically around the holidays. They're all great. They do stand the test of time, Bob, much like you said. They've been around. People attempt to do these, but I don't know. There's just something magical about the little Japanese hands that touch these.
I mean, it's kind of amazing. Like, it's 1964. It's been that long, and people are still putting these stop motions on the TV. I'm wondering if some of the younger, some of our younger audience, do they keep up with these? Have they seen these stop motions before, or are we in a bit of an age bracket because of it? I don't know.
I doubt it because some of this stuff, I feel like it's so ingrained in our memories because they played it so much on TV when we were growing up. Like now it's like you're watching most of your shit on streaming services. So, and I tried looking up this stuff on streaming services. It's not on there.
Interesting.
They had me strapped to a little mouse chair, just pins in the eyes watching this stuff on loop.
Yeah.
Buried in there. Anyhow, that was number 2. Before we get on to number 1, again, be sure if you're new to the channel, like, follow, subscribe. Head to the Patreon page, patreon.com/wearethetelevision. Check out that unaired exclusive first episode of Toon Talk TV. We got a whole bunch of other behind-the-scenes content, so it'll be nice. Check it out. But without further ado, number 1 on the Toon Talk TV list of Christmas specials is, Bob, give me a little drum roll here. Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Just a beautifully done work of animation and art that still holds up today and has really ingrained itself into the spirit of Christmas. It was produced and directed by Chuck Jones, and Chuck Jones did a lot of the Looney Tunes stuff. So I just remember this one being so well done animated. The first thing in my head that it comes to was the Grinch just smiling. So this special required 11 to 14 month production time, 15,000 drawings and cells, 250 background layout drawings, 1,200 character layout drawings, and 60 musicians working for 8 hours to finish this special.
Wow.
CBS was coming off of the success of A Charlie Brown Christmas. So just to paint that out for you guys, Charlie Brown Christmas was a year before on CBS. So in 1965, Charlie came out. And then in 1966, CBS was like, okay, we need another Christmas special.
Top that.
Yeah. So Jones wanted to make this Christmas special less Jesus-y, less religious.
Wow.
So-
Okay. Little
so what he
blowback
did-
there, maybe.
So what he did was make up his own Christmas carols. He did some Yahoo Yores, you know?
Yahoo Dore.
And so CBS had the original budget last year of $96,000 to make the Christmas special. What do you think the budget was the year after for CBS?
Double it.
Double it, baby.
Quadruple it.
What?
$315,000 to make
God
Dr.
damn.
Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
It's a lot of cheese. That buys a lot of cheese.
Yep.
So you're telling me we started with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer at 64. 65, they give us this little depressed Peanuts kid. And then 66, they're like, well, we got to overcorrect. It's a little too much. We're going to give you this green guy who steals Christmas. And then has a heart palpitations and probably needs to go to a doctor because it increases in size and gives Christmas back. Wow.
Hey, they
What a
succeeded.
correction.
They
did.
It's our winner, man, and I think it's fairly gets number 1 because that one, everything about it, the music, it's contagious. The music is contagious in that one. I feel like the animation, Fred, you were talking about it a little. There's something moving in every part of that constantly, and they're all like beautiful movements of like just the weird movements. They make Dr. Seuss book look so real.
Yeah. So I guess Dr. Seuss, I don't know what his real name was kind of reluctant to make this because he did he made a show a little bit beforehand and it didn't turn out great. And then Chuck Jones came to him and was like, all right, come on, this is the perfect book. Let's do this. I can make it. I can make it well. And
Daddy
I mean,
Chuck.
his work speaks for him. Like all the Looney Tunes stuff was really good. So
And Tom and Jerry.
yeah.
I think it's also a testament that people still try to remake it and try to match the magicalness of the original. You got the one with Jim Carrey and then the newest one with Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch in it. But yeah, there's just something about putting the Grinch on, which is another one of those things that's just on a loop all of Christmas time that you just got to at least watch at least once during the holiday season. So it is a good choice at number 1. I'm glad it's there. Holiday list, guys. Do we have any honorable mentions, Bob?
Honorable mentions. Well, before I bring up
8
an
Crazy
honorable,
Nights.
and I got one more fun fact about the Grinch. So the "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch" was sung by the same voice as Tony the Tiger. You guys know that?
Nice. If you think about it, like they sound like that's definitely the same guy, but you never put those in the same like boat. Like you never think about that.
No.
All these
no.
people are running around in the same circles, dude. Just the same capitalistic wheel, dude. Let's get the Tony guy to sing this song. Yeah.
So, an honorable mention. It's such a great animation, and I mean, it has the word Christmas in it. Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, it's not really a Christmas movie though. It feels more like a Halloween movie to me. We've talked about it a little on a previous podcast, so go back and listen to that. How about you guys? Any honorable mentions?
Fred, you go if you got one.
Actually, while we were talking about this, I thought about it. The Smiling Friends Christmas special was.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, why didn't we fucking put that one in this list?
That was-
Because it's really
I
good.
forgot about that.
Yeah, it's really good.
8 Crazy Nights, South Park Christmas, Garfield you mentioned as one that didn't. They were probably on the outside looking in. All good ones. All check them all out. If we missed any, let us know in the comments. If there are any holiday specials, animation, cartoons that we missed, please let us know. We'll go pray to Jesus for our sins and correct that on the next one. But without further ado, I mean, I hope you guys liked our list that we put together. Again, like, follow, subscribe. Check out the Patreon. Go buy some cool swag for the holiday season and help a couple of independent creators in the process. Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad. What's the more political way to say that now? You can't really, if you're saying Merry Christmas to someone,
Happy
they may not
holidays.
Happy holidays.
Merry Kwanzaa. You know.
Happy holidays from Toon Talk TV to your non-religious family. We'll catch you on the next one.